The only thing that interferes with my learning is my education. This was said by Albert Einstein, the genius we ever had, a genius who failed his school examinations. No surprise, he had issues with education. But what is education? Well, education is a system, nothing more, nothing less. It is a system that facilitates gaining knowledge. A good education system does a little bit more. It helps creating new knowledge. And knowledge is created when we break barriers, when we cross a line that we were not supposed to cross. Therefore, in today's world, a good and effective education system, like the one I will be talking about, should be an education system that breaks the borders and diversifies and unifies. So, coming back to Einstein, if education prevents you from learning, if education prevents you from gaining knowledge, and I hope you know that information is not knowledge, so it is when that time that education fails as a system, it becomes dysfunctional. And a dysfunctional system actually has a very good function. It makes everything else equally dysfunctional. And that is what is happening in Bangladesh right now. In Bangladesh, like every other system, education has now become rigid and stagnant. We created 3 streams of education to make the system more focused and diversified. But being the genius that we Bangladeshis are, we ended up making education fragmented and discriminatory. So now I give you a science student, a business student, and a humanities student. You will automatically end up making a hierarchy out of them. I know that you will. So, where education was supposed to teach us non-discrimination and equality, in Bangladesh, education teaches us to discriminate right from grade 8. Where education was supposed to create knowledge, in Bangladesh, education creates prejudice and dogma. A lot of dogma. And then, we Bangladeshis just love to have trends. So even in education, every few decades we come up with new trends. So in the early 1990s, it was computer engineering, software and stuff. In the 2000s, it was BBA, MBA. And nowadays, it looks like social business, entrepreneurship, and leadership. So, what happens is, people now think science is analytical, business is smart, and humanities is flat, definitely boring, and cliched. So I don't know, but I do hope that most of the people in this room understand that each and every stream of education is important. But there are millions of youth out there who actually think that the ultimate definition of smart and creative is being in business or social enterprise. And therefore, when someone is starting a startup which doesn't have anything to do with the previous academic background, we consider them to be smart, creative, and interdisciplinary. But is that interdisciplinary? Or even creative? How do we bridge the gap between the knowledge, the thought process, and the actions of our youth, whom the education system has successfully disintegrated? As an academic back in 2014, this was the problem I was thinking about. And then in Cambridge, on a very cold February night, my friend Nazmus Saqib told me about his dream of Kolpokoushol. In 2015, Kolpokoushol started, and I joined the journey. Kolpokoushol is an interdisciplinary research organization. As an organization, Kolpokoushol aims to push the boundaries beyond the borders of discipline and set examples for our innovators to think outside of the box. What Kolpokoushol wants and does is pretty simple. Interdisciplinary, participation-based knowledge generation. And as such, at Kolpokoushol, we have actually broken a few serious barriers in Bangladesh. So we brought together mentors and students from home and abroad, from all types of discipline, from all types of education level and age group. We threw them together into a single team. We gave them a platform to create knowledge, and it worked beautifully. So now in Bangladesh, when most of the social business or enterprises mostly focus on result-based activities, when they project a narrow vision of social breakthrough, Kolpokoushol never had that immediate result impulse. We wanted to do only one thing, to create and generate knowledge. So we took a risk. But this was also the classic and ultimate academic dream. So, just to give you an idea, this is what we did. So this is using augmented reality and machine learning techniques to understand sign language. This is using augmented and virtual reality-based techniques to create interactive games for children. And this person here is actually using hand gesture-based remote control system for hospital patients. And this is virtual reality-based collaboration system. This is where the humanities guys and girls collaborated with the tech guys. So they extracted the data using data mining techniques from various news reports of various English newspapers of Bangladesh. And this is the visualization. So you can see the patterns and the statistics in a visual form, which shows us the levels and the trends of road accidents over various years in various places and various types of vehicles in Bangladesh. So from this idea, we actually got the idea for the Laws Viz network, and we used the same data mining and visualization techniques to create the idea that maybe we can have a better search engine which makes it easily accessible and easily searchable for all the laws of Bangladesh. We actually threw the students together and we made hardware prototypes to understand sign language. And then we created hand gesture-based technology for hospital patients. And we also used virtual reality-based techniques to create interactive games with children. So that's with the science field. But the humanities students also collaborated with the tech people. And they processed various news data from newspaper reports spanning over a few years, and that automatically processed a pattern of road accidents in Bangladesh. So using data visualization, we could now show the regions, the places, the season, and also the type of vehicle which are more prone to accidents in Bangladesh. So you see, out of these breaking through ideas, we selected a few promising ones. We mentored the students, we brainstormed, and after a year, now we have reached a stage where we have some very interesting projects going on. For example, our students extracted data from Facebook posts of various Facebook groups on TV series. And from those Facebook posts, we created data visualization using machine learning technique, which shows what type of series does our youth view most, and what kind of emotions do our youth associate with those Facebook posts. Another group is working on the patterns of suicide in Bangladesh. Using search engines and visualization tools, we have produced visual pictures which depict the patterns of suicide history in Bangladesh, and as well various reasons which promote or which provoke suicidal attitudes within various vulnerable demographic groups in Bangladesh. And just like all these projects, there is one other project which I am currently mentoring, and this is known as the Law Network Visualization Tool, which is a visualization-based law browsing tool. So you see, despite being citizens of a 21st century era, most people in Bangladesh do not have a clear idea of law. We neither know about the domestic laws, nor our rights, nor our remedies, nor our options. So we thought, what could we have if we throw technology and law together? As an academic, I could feel the necessity of having technological facilities in my field. And as a tech person, Saqib could also feel that technology can serve these non-traditional fields better. But how to do that exactly? So we took the first step, which is finding the problem and looking at the necessities. The laws in Bangladesh are quite complicated and obscure. Even professionals have problems navigating our laws. So how much harder can it be for non-law folks? So we took that problem, we groomed it, we mixed scientific research methodologies with social science research techniques. And we were blessed with two incredibly talented and dedicated students, Manush Mondol and Pinku Debnath. And we came up after 1 year with a law network visualization tool, which is a search engine, a visualizing search engine, which helps us easily access and easily search the obscure law texts using a visual interface. So to give you an idea, if you want to know the connection between evidence and contract in Bangladesh, and you use Google, this is what you'll come up with. You will get the plain and simple laws, and that really doesn't help. You don't get to understand what the connections are. But at this moment, if you use the LawViz network and you put the same words, contract and evidence, it will come up with all these nodes, and they will actually show what are the texts which are interconnected between the contract law and the evidence law of Bangladesh, and how they interact with each other, and what other connections do they have with the other laws of Bangladesh. So that makes it easier for us to understand, both for law professionals as well as other people. So what happens is, now I know about using technology better, and my technology students know far better about Bangladeshi law than an average first-year law student in Bangladesh. So yes, if I look from that perspective, I can see that, we have come a long way. When I look back at my Kolpokoushol journey with all these wonderful people, I can see what an interdisciplinary journey we all have made. I showed up the confidence to work with technology people. And trust me, a lot of this confidence came from mutual respect. And that is what education is for. Because if education does not make us more respectful, if it doesn't teach us empathy, what good is education for? So, just like the science people need to understand humanities and work in humanities fields and learn entrepreneurship business by making this kind of forums, humanities people should also stop shying away from the blessings of technology and science that this age is actually giving us. And that is how we not only broke the academic borders, but we also broke the social barriers. In ancient world, there were actually 3 centers of knowledge. There was Greece, where knowledge was beautiful and philosophic, but it wasn't much practical. And then there was Jerusalem, where knowledge was text-based, scripture-based, but you were not allowed to question. And then there was Rome, who took knowledge from everywhere and made something new out of that existing knowledge. So today, Bangladesh needs to become Rome. Interdisciplinary is the way to go now. Because if we don't go interdisciplinary, if we don't break the borders, if we don't push the barriers, we will remain where we always have been. We will not know what new opportunities we will be having. As such, we at Kolpokoushol are trying to break barriers and find sustainable solutions for long existing social problems. We at Kolpokoushol are being one of those catalysts who are working to find that solution. And that is based on love, respect, and fun for knowledge, which breathes in everything. So thank you for your extra moments.